Have you ever had that gut feeling that something just isn't right with your child's health or development, but every time you go in for answers, you get hit with the same line, right? Everything looks normal or they're gonna grow out of it. Here's the deal. You know your child, you know their moods, their habits, their patterns, and when those patterns start shifting, that's not just in your head. What if there was actually a way to measure what's happening in that system, the system that controls it all, their nervous system? This video is for the parents who are done feeling dismissed, for the moms and dads who know something's going on and are ready to get real answers, not more guesswork, with the help of advanced non-invasive technology that helps out the true health of their child's nervous system. Crystal's story is actually a perfect illustration of the power of what we do in our office, Insight Scans. As a first-time mom that was navigating parenthood about 5 years ago, she felt overwhelmed and constantly on edge. With a child requiring around-the-clock care, she found herself stuck in survival mode, battling extreme fatigue. Traditional tests offered no answers, but when she saw her Insight Scans, everything finally clicked, right? For the first time, she could see how life stressors were affecting her nervous system, and the scans, they validated her experiences and provided a clear path forward. What I loved about the Insight Scans is what Crystal shared, is that they were tailored specifically to me and looked deeper at the root cause of what was happening. So I want to talk about what's actually behind these scans, because this is the stuff we wish every parent knew for themselves and for their kids. There are actually 3 powerful scans that make up the Insight Scan technology, and I want to show it to you right now. Let's go into it. Okay, so this is a neurothermal scan, okay? I want to zoom in on this so you get a really good idea of what we're looking at and what we're seeing. What this does is it measures how the nervous system is regulating things from an autonomic nervous system perspective, or ANS perspective. This is showing us things like, how is the nervous system regulating digestion? How is it regulating immune function? How is it regulating reproductive system? All those different systems are correlated through this scan in terms of, if those systems are stressed, they might not be working exactly as they should. And so we love seeing this one because it tells us, hey, it's kind of a confirming factor. If you're dealing with something, we can oftentimes see it in this scan. Now, one of the things that we look at with this particular scan, it's called a neurothermal scan, and what it does is it measures temperature differences from the left and the right of the nervous system. And if there's stress that's stuck on the nervous system, be it emotional stress, be it physical stress, be it environmental stressors, like chemical stressors, then it picks it up in the form of elevated temperatures. So red is significant nerve interference. So we see a couple spots in this person's scan here. Blue is moderate nerve interference, and we see a couple different spots here as well. And then green would be mild nerve interference. And so we see a few different spots in this person's nervous system that's stuck and has stress stuck on it. White would be within normal limits. And really what we want to see is that there's white bars going back and forth from side to side on this person's neurospinal system. With this particular scan, people ask me, well, why aren't we seeing bars on both sides? That's because it's measuring elevated temperature differences from side to side. And again, that's indicating autonomic nervous system dysfunction. So somebody might be experiencing things like reflux, or babies, it could be colic, constipation, kiddos, it could be constant ear infections, and just a bunch of different things. What we do is we use this scan on everyone from a day old to newborns to grown-ups, so that we can understand, again, how is that autonomic nervous system functioning. This scan is a neuromuscular scan, or they call it a neurocore scan, but basically what it shows us is from a neuromuscular perspective, how well is the nervous system communicating, and how much energetic effort is being utilized to do the body's functions, right? And so this really helps us understand how well the brain's communicating with the rest of the body. And if there's elevated levels of energy that's being utilized, then it picks it up in a similar color scheme as that neurothermal scan. So red would be significant neuromuscular overactivity, blue would be moderate, and then green would be mild, which we're seeing in a few different places. And then we also see these yellow bars here. Yellow bars are an indicator that there's actually neuromuscular fatigue, meaning these neuromuscular levels have been overworking for a significant amount of time. And because they've been overworking for a significant amount of time, they're actually fatiguing out and not activating as properly as they should. And so with somebody like this, we want to be able to calm down the overactive spots, and we want to bring back online the underactive spots. so that their body can do more of what it's designed to do and do it appropriately without extra effort. This scan helps us understand tension patterns in our practice members. Some practice members come to us and they're experiencing a high level of overutilization. They're just so high in tension. We call this, and these people are often associated with issues like hyperactivity or anxiety, ADHD, that sort of stuff. We call that presentation pattern, somebody a raging bull, because their nervous system is just so overstimulated, they have a hard time calming down. Then we have people that maybe come in and they're struggling with focus or coordination issues. Kiddos especially that just don't seem to be able to get like appropriate movement patterns right. We call these kiddos or people the drunken bull because their neuromuscular system has either been so overactive that it's kind of died out and isn't activating appropriately, or it's so overactive or it's so underactive that they just can't do the things that they should be able to do. And so that's where we say we want to bring that neuromuscular system back online, or we want to calm it down just based off of how that person's presenting. This scan also really gives us a clear visual of how neuromotor function and neurosensory processing can be impacted. So it's a really helpful scan. This is a heart rate variability scan, or HRV for short. HRV is really important because it helps us measure your child's adaptability to stress in terms of if it's more on the fight or flight side of the nervous system, like the said, or the sympathetic side of the nervous system, or if they're stuck in more of a rest, digest, heal mode. Typically, most people that come into our office are high strung, stuck more on the fight or flight side of the nervous system, and so it takes us tapping into the nervous system and trying to encourage it to shift more towards that rest, digest, and heal side to see their nervous system adapt and heal and change. It's worth noting to you guys that the farther down that we go on this y-axis, the more effort it takes for a kiddo or anyone's nervous system to adapt and change and go back and forth on this scale of heart rate variability. This scan also shows us whether they're stuck again in that fight or flight mode, which can help explain issues with why sleep, focus, or behavior is off. It's also how we track real progress through care, because we really want to see this start to shift up towards this green zone. Green zone is the best place to be because it says, hey, your nervous system's adapting, it's doing it appropriately. So just like Crystal, who now describes herself as the peace in other people's storms, your family can experience the transformation that comes from understanding and addressing the nervous system function. While life's changes and challenges don't magically disappear, Insight scans help us create a precise roadmap for your kiddo's care, your care, leading to better adaptation and improved function and just ultimately lasting results. So if you're ready to discover what's really going on inside your child's nervous system, just click the link in our bio or send us a direct message, drop a comment. You or your child's breakthrough might just be one scan away.